Hi guys, this is SEMRush. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to share with you how to write better YouTube titles to get ranked higher on YouTube and to grow your channel real fast. So wait all the way till the end to get all the strategies you need to write better, high converting titles for your YouTube channel. Now, why should you actually optimize your YouTube title? Optimizing your YouTube title is part of YouTube SEO and is one of the #1 reasons why my channel grows so fast from 0 to 1,000 subscribers. You want to identify what are some of the keywords that someone might type into the YouTube search field in order for your video to show up. The closer your title can get to what someone is typing into the search field, the more likely it is that your video will show up. Of course, you also make sure that your video is of quality and people actually watch it. But if you can make this happen, you get the quality of your video up, your title will be the #1 ranking factor to determine if your video shows up for a specific search term. Now, the overall strategy is going to be that we're going to look for what kind of search terms are people searching for, which are some of the most popular search terms, and which search terms have low competition. For example, you might see that 1,000 people are searching for a specific phrase, but there's only 9 videos showing up. So if you are creating a video for exactly that search phrase, your video might be number 10. So you have almost a guarantee to show up on page 1 of YouTube search results. That's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you exactly my step-by-step process how to identify those keywords for your channel. Now, especially if you have a new YouTube channel, it's really important that you are using and taking advantage of the YouTube search feature. And one of the best ways how you can create traffic from YouTube search is by identifying questions that someone is asking. So use a question as your title, which implies that you have the solution to something specific. Just like in this case, I'm telling you how to write better YouTube titles. So I'm assuming that you're actually asking yourself right now, how can you write better titles that have a higher likelihood of converting? So that's why you type this into the search field, or why my video was suggested on one of the other videos also about YouTube titles. So you found my channel because I optimized my keyword just for your question. Now let's start with something technical about the YouTube title. What is the maximum length that you can use as your YouTube title? And the answer is 100 characters. But you have to keep in mind that the 100 characters will not always be visible on all platforms at all time. In fact, if you're using search results, it will probably be cropped. On desktop computers, only the first 50 to 70 characters will show up, and then the rest will be truncated. Nonetheless, everything you put in the title is still searchable and will be used. So make sure that you take advantage and fill out as many characters as possible for your YouTube channel. But make sure that you include the most important information in the first half of your title, the first 50 characters. So you make sure that your title shows up and is identifiable, like what is someone searching for on mobile, on desktop, and on tablets. So here are some of my favorite tools how to identify high search volume, low competition keywords. The first tool we're going to use is YouTube itself. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to the home page and you start typing in a question that you believe your audience might be looking for. And you do that really slowly. And then what happens is that YouTube will auto-complete your questions. It will show some suggestions below the search field. And those are keywords that other people have been searching for, ranked and sorted by popularity. So if you're starting a question, how to, you will see a couple of suggestions. What are people actually looking for? How to solve what? And then as you go on and you refine your search further and further, you will see that more and more detailed sub-questions will be recommended to you. And those are really good indicators to find quality topics that people are generally searching for. Now, sometimes you might want to play around a little bit and rephrase your questions to get like a different angle. The second tool we're going to look at is Google. Now, Google is very relevant as well because a lot of people are creating all the articles for the Google platform, and it also includes some of the video results in the search results. Now, what you're going to do is the same thing. Go to google.com and start typing your questions. Same process. You're looking what people are typing in and what Google is suggesting in the autocomplete feature. And for both tools, you want to write those down. Write down good ideas that you found in the autocomplete feature. And you will notice that you find a good amount of questions that might make perfect videos that you might create. The third tool that we're going to look at is called SEMRush. This is a paid tool, but it's a very powerful tool, which is basically indexing the entire web and makes it searchable to identify topics that might be perfect article topics. But don't worry, even though this is like about ranking on Google, the article topics are still very, very relevant to what you're doing on YouTube. You can identify question clusters that people are searching for, that people are asking in different forums. SEMrush can extract and pull out all of those information and give you relevant, related topics, different ideas what you could create as content that has a high probability of ranking on Google and on YouTube. The fourth tool is one of my favorite tools, and I'm using that for all of my videos, and it's called TubeBuddy. Now, TubeBuddy has an amazing keyword research tool which is pulling out data directly from the YouTube database. It will pull out for any keyword you're typing in, what is the search volume on YouTube, how many people are looking for that, and how many results will show up. This will tell you how popular a certain keyword phrase is, and will show you how likely it is for you to rank and compete with that video. What you're doing is you're creating videos for exactly those search terms that nobody else has done. Then you're starting building an audience with all of those videos because nobody else is doing it. You have no competition. You're building a subscriber base. And as you're growing, you can go and create more generic topics for your channel. So once you have 1,000 subscribers, you can make more generic content, but it's a great way to really grow fast from 0 to 1,000 subscribers. Now, the next tool that you're going to look at to create awesome YouTube titles is called Answer the Public. And this tool is basically compiling all the questions from all the different spaces on the internet, and it groups them together by different question types. So it's really easy for you to identify what are people searching for and what are some of the most related searches. It's really easy to explore. You can start with like a very broad topic, then dive down into like a more niche topic to identify like what might make a good YouTube title. And the last platform that you can look at is Quora. And Quora is a lot of times people asking questions and people answering those questions. So you can look at what are some of the most popular questions which have received the most amount of answers, which have the most amount of upvotes. So you can quickly identify topics that people are searching for on a daily basis. Now, once you have written down all of your questions that you have identified with all of those tools, I want you to do two things. The first one is you're going to take all the other keywords that you didn't find on TubeBuddy and throw them into TubeBuddy and find the score. I want you to create and write down the score of each of your questions. So you end up having a table. We have like the keyword score, the question title, and then you can sort them in your Excel table or Google Sheets and identify which have the highest probability of ranking. Then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work and tweak on your title. We're taking the highest quality score questions and we try to optimize them. We're looking like what can we do, what kind of interesting keyword formula can we throw at it to make it sound a little bit more interesting. And then we're going to use two tools to identify how good your title has been in terms of converting people or convincing people that this video is exactly what they're looking for and they should definitely watch it. Now, the first tool that we're going to look at is the EMV Headline Analyzer, and this will give you a couple of different metrics in terms of emotional value and how impactful your word choices are. And if you notice that you're getting a low score, it might be that it's very unemotional, very technical, and you might have to throw in a couple of interesting words to connect with people on a deeper level, to make it more emotional. It's really important that you trigger someone's emotion when they're reading the title. So use the EMV tool to identify the emotional quality of your overall headline. And the last tool that you're going to look at is the Capitalize My Headline Analyzer. And this one has a completely different angle. So you're going to see like a lot of different metrics that it will tell you about the different aspects of your headline, the quality of your words, the readability score, the comprehensible score. So use those tools and then identify which are the headlines which have the highest possibility of ranking on YouTube. And then you're going to use that title, put this into your video title. You also want to repeat this in your YouTube description. In your text section, you want to write a couple of variations on that. And when you're filming your video, ideally, you do your keyword research before you're even starting filming your video. You want to also mention your video title in your video itself. So when people want to know, for example, in our case, how to write better converting YouTube title to grow fast on YouTube, YouTube will transcribe your video and it will make those keywords searchable. So if you're mentioning your keyword in different variations throughout your videos, this will tremendously help you in your searchability and makes it much more likely that your video will show up in YouTube search. Now, if you have any questions about any of those tools, I put the link in the pinned comment below with all the different links so you can quickly identify this. I'm also going to put a link to an article that I've written about how to write better YouTube videos. And I'm going to put like another article, how to create best converting headline formulas inside. So you want to check out those links in the first comment below. If you like this video, please give it a like and make sure that you subscribe and turn the notification bell on if you want to get more tips and recommendations on how to grow your YouTube channel. Also check out those videos over here and over here about growing your YouTube channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.